It's just not clear. They say it's within, but I can't find a thing. I need peace. When will it cease? Help, oh God, I plead. Who am I? Why am I here? The answer's in here somewhere. Who am I? Why am I here? The answer's in here. It's just not clear. Just wanna live, just wanna give what's inside. Don't wanna hide anymore. Some say you decide. Shouldn't the great one guide? Am I wrong? Where do I belong? Help, oh Holy One. Who am I? Why am I here? The answer's in here somewhere. Who am I? Why am I here? The answer's in here. It's just not clear.
Good afternoon, listeners and viewers. We're back again. And as I said to you in Bishop's program, we'll be speaking with a wonderful woman by the name of Miss Sorana Mitchell. Many of you have met her, have seen her, have heard her, and interacted with her at various levels. So today we are going to be speaking with a friend and sister, and whatever name. And we will be speaking mental health.
Yes.
Mental health, awareness of mental health. As you know, this month, somewhere around the 10th, was celebrated as Mental Health Day.
Yes.
And, well, I guess carrying through the month, focusing on different aspects of mental health.
Yeah.
I think we become very much aware of this word, this mental health. You know, growing up, it was one thing. And as we get older, we realize that it's all over the place. We're talking it. It's on all the various platforms. And today, Sorana is going to share with us. She's going to share with us on her experience, her own journey. And as you heard this wonderful song with a nice reggae beat, which I've learned that was composed some 15 years ago.
Yes.
You know, and
yes.
She will share with us a bit about that, and then we will proceed with the interview, as she will share on different aspects of her, the situation with mental health and where she's at today. So let's talk a bit of this wonderful piece that you have composed. Sorana, what inspired it? And yes.
Thank you so much, Ms. Victor.
Yes.
That song, I wrote that song coming out of depression. And it was about 12, 15 years ago. I was having a conversation with God. Recently, as just a few minutes ago when we were speaking, I said to you that when I was diagnosed with bipolar disorder, I wanted nothing to do with God.
Mm-hmm.
You know, how could you do this to me? Why me? I was this. I did this for you. I was very good in church. I was You know, you're making the laundry list.
Yes.
You're making that whole long list, and it's like God is just like letting you go ahead, and I'm going on, and God is like, okay, you're my child. Go ahead. And so it's me expressing, calling out for help. You know, I need peace, because many a times, you know, in depression, you know, you don't sleep well. You have a lot of thoughts. Either you're eating too much or you're not eating enough, or you're thinking about things. Some people go to the far end of having suicidal thoughts. So I was there and I was just talking to God, and it started as a poem, and started with talking to God, and it went to a poem, and then it went to a song.
3 in 1.
Yeah. The Holy Spirit. Yeah. So yeah.
Okay.
Yes. I must say thank you so much for welcoming me on the show. Your personality leans to the welcome.
Thank you.
Yes.
We've been wanting to do this program for a while, and we kept shuffling the dates and see when it's best. And today God has made this possible. Mm-hmm. So, his time is always the best time.
Definitely.
And we are still in the month of October, so we are still within range.
Yes.
So I want to thank Sorana for accepting to be here to share with us, to raise awareness on mental health. Now, she mentioned in the beginning that she suffers with bipolar. You mind just helping us to understand how you arrived at that point? What happened?
Okay, so bipolar is the past. They call it manic depression. Mm-hmm. So mania, you're doing all sorts of things. You see, I start talking with my hands.
We all do. Talk with our hands.
So yes, and then depression. So manic depression. And it was, my daughter was born in 2005. I was living in the U.S. So it came on fully in 2007, 6, 7. But prior to that, like going back, because I do a lot of deep work with myself, and I could see where it was even in my teen years, and I wasn't sleeping well. I had all these thoughts, and then I had erratic behavior, and at the time I was married, and the man I was married to, he reached out and he called for the ambulance to come take me, and they took me to the hospital, and they ran tests, they observed me, and then they gave me a diagnosis of bipolar, which I rejected.
Why?
Yeah, because ain't nobody want to hear that crazy. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm being honest, and that's where I when I had to accept it, I started to get mad with God. Why me? Mm-hmm. And at the time, I remember I was searching through some channels on the TV, and there was Pastor Tete Jakes at the time, and he was doing a sermon, and I was like, I just chups. Mm-hmm. But I stuck on the station, and he said something to the fact, when things are going wrong in your life and you say, why me? Why not you? And it jumped out at me. I was like, why not me? What makes me so different? What makes me so grand that I cannot be touched with mental illness? Mm-hmm. And that was then, and it started to take root that it doesn't mean that you're a bad person, that something was going to happen to you. It doesn't mean that you're less than because you have a mental health condition. Mm-hmm. So slowly and surely I started to gain acceptance, take acceptance for it, stick on the medication, because I was fighting the medication, fighting everything, because I'm like, no, because prior to that, I would have a headache and I wouldn't take anything for the headache. And I was Rastafarian, and I not taking no.
You see, this was locks?
I actually had locks at one point.
Okay.
Yes. Well, no, it's too hot. I had locks at one point, but I was not Rastafarian.
Okay,
but us already. Yeah, I was, and I'm not taking this, and I'm not doing that. And my mother used to be like, "You're Rasta." So yeah, I never liked taking medication, but there came, I have to take this thing every day, and it's still a chore, because sometimes I still forget, and I have to remind myself that even though things I might be fitting into the normal world, I need that extra help.
to bring the balance, as it were?
Yes, because bipolar is a matter of an imbalance of hormones. Yes.
So, Sorana, before that, you're functional, you did whatever, and everything like that. And you felt something change. You felt something change within you, and you could not put your finger on it.
No.
Did you think of it as a moment that would just pass, like everybody goes through some kind of stress in life, and then, eventually that will go?
I realized that something was not right in my teens, my late teens, early 20s.
Okay.
And at the time, I was very involved in church, the Catholic Church. At the time, Father Mark Haynes was the priest in Bolio, and he was also a psychologist.
Yes.
And I wanted to go to him to talk to him about that, but I never went. That's another story for another time. But I never went there because prior to that, I'm compounding it, but I was sexually abused as a child. So I thought my issues, the thoughts and so on, had something to do with that.
Okay.
Because I would do my own research.
Okay.
Although we didn't have the internet at our fingertips back in the 90s, I would read books.
You had books, yes.
Yes, and I would watch documentaries.
Yes.
So I was doing a lot of research, but when that did happen, years later, I saw where the thoughts would speed up at times, and I would get very creative at times, and then I would feel like down. And I would be like, what's wrong? And I would get up and be like, let's tell my friends, let's do this, let's do that. And so, yes, it was always there. I detected it in my teens, but it was never full force. It's after my daughter was born, because, once you have a child, the hormones go out of whack. And if you don't get help or whatever, it could go further, and for me, it went further.
So it could have been that contributed to the over.
Yes, yes.
Okay, but in your family per se, it's
Yes.
not something. It's something that runs in the family.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
I have a sister who also has that issue, although she would beg to differ. She was diagnosed with whatever, and she has had that issue. But at the same time, it is not something that many people want to accept.
Yeah.
And because of the stigma and the shame and all of that. But I say to myself, they tell you don't take the medication because da. But I say, God gave man the ability to understand and to help each other out. So if it gives me 50, 60 good years where I can fit into the normal world, I will do so. Yeah.
Because you're functional.
Yes.
The fact is, some people think that if such and such happens to them, it's hard to pick yourself up and to face society.
It's not easy, It's not easy because people could be mean. I've experienced it. I remember when I went to work where I work right now, and I went to one of the offices, and one of the women looked at me and she said, in front of a good bit of people, "Oh, is she crazy?"
Oh my God.
And I just looked at her and I was like, okay. Mine could be, I know what mine is. I don't know what yours is, but that's fine. You can tell the whole world, I will help you. There was also, I was in a meeting, and a gentleman in the whole group, he said to me in front of everyone, "Aren't you crazy?" I wasn't behaving in any strange way. That's in Grenada, yeah? I wasn't behaving in any strange way. I sat there and I took the opportunity to say, well, I'm not crazy, but I have a mental health condition. It's called bipolar. But I know it was falling on deaf ears because the whole idea was to make me feel small. But say what?
No, but Sorana, the fact that something has to be responsible for giving you that strength to get up, to face, to move through. You spoke about your involvement in the church when you were growing up and all of that, but when you turn a certain age, you have to make faith has become your own,
Yes.
You have to enter into that rather than what has been told to you, and you question it. But maybe that situation would have driven you.
Yeah, it's
to a point. Yes.
Yeah, it's I think the grounding was the ground was set. Although of course I did fight it, I did question it. But it was strengthened with the birth of my daughter, because whenever I saw her, I would see her, I knew I had to be able to take care of myself so I can take care of her, so I can be there for her, because without me, she would have no one. Okay? And there is, I don't know, we've been taught to call it God, and that's how I was brought up. That power that's within us, that power that's responsible for all of us being here, the God power has guided me, has taken care of me. Even the life of Jesus has shown me that even in the face of mockery, in the face of death, there's life. He has shown it. And that is where I take my strength,
This is good. This is good. So this has been your experience, and some people, as you say, they may curse the history, but I am learning. You talk about the daughter that you had, and that daughter becomes the inspiration for you, or calls you forth, or pulls you, to raise, to live for. And how would you speak to, persons who are listening, who perhaps terrible things have happened to them, and they just cannot see that it was part of the plan of God, in a sense, to help, or looking back at that situation cause you to be where you are today? Yeah,
it's weird. I have to say weird, because there's no other word I can use. As I said, at a point I hated God. I don't want to hear the name called. This is a fiction. This is, whatever. And more in my life at this age, I see where everything that happened was for a reason. I had lots of bad things happen, but I had wonderful things happen too. But the bad things have shown me that, hey, you learned from it, it made you stronger, and you've grown as a result of it. So, some people might not want to hear that, because it's when you're in a bad situation.
You're still in a bad situation.
You don't want to hear anything about, it's going to get better, it's a lesson. You don't want to hear that. I know. I've been there. But you just have to open yourself up and just say, God, like for me, I say thank you. I always give thanks. Say, thank you, God, for this life. Thank you for choosing me. Thank you for putting me on this path. And wherever you want to lead me, take me. And I always question, I'll go back. I think I was 14, 15. And I went to a retreat.
Okay.
I can't remember which retreat it was. And I think the whole theme was about using me, Lord. Use me.
Use me.
And I remember going home, and I sat down and I prayed, and I said, use me, Lord. I always go back to that moment, because I felt different when I said those words back then. And I remember going through what I was going through, and something took me back to that time. And I was like, what the heck did I do? Why did I say use me? Be careful what you ask for. No.
You wanted to tell him how to use it.
That's the thing. And one of the things I've learned is that you hear it said, ask and it shall be given, seek and it shall find, knock and the doors be open. It never told you to say how to do it. And that's the problem with us. We want to dictate and tell God, well, I want it like this, that, and the other. And God is like, nope. I'm going to give it to you how I feel is best for you. And I just open myself up and I say, okay, do your work.
So you were saying that time, how important is time in that process of healing? Because you cannot measure. Sometimes and you have to give people time, but the patience of those around you. Because sometimes people think you could snap out of this stuff.
Yes.
Or you're lazy and you could do better. And all that's going on.
Snap out of it. Because even in a simple situation, like you might have a job, and others around you might get mad because you do not have a job. and you for yourself already struggling with the fact that you're not making your own money.
Exactly.
So people who do not understand would be like, you just sit down there and then doing nothing and I have to do everything. No. I've come to realize that maybe it is a chance for God to work in that person to direct them to where he wants them. And the support is, it doesn't mean that you coddle people and encourage them to not do anything, but at the same time, you have to understand that God is using each and every one of us, whether we want to acknowledge it or not. And he might be using you to help me help someone, and he might be getting someone else to help. So it's weird. I'm talking about God now, like, he's my good looking brother right over here. I'm telling you, not too long ago, I don't want nothing to do with this God thing. I don't want nothing to do with this God thing.
It takes time.
It does take it, and it has to do with the person too, because there's something in the Bible. I haven't read the Bible in a while, but I remember somewhere it talks about what might be something to the effect that what might be a day for man might be like
1,000 years might be a day, and a day might be
right.
Okay.
So it has to do with even the person's ability to receive.
But Sorana, there are times when you need to be pushed.
Yes.
And those who are wronged you, sometimes they understand and they say, no. I may not be able to get you to move from here to there. But somebody else might be able to say, no. You speak differently to the person, or you present it differently, and you are able to get... Because you cannot just leave that person to just stay in that one position, but you need wisdom and prudence, patience to be able to say to them, okay, we are going to... I would like to take you to so-and-so. Think about it.
People with mental health conditions could be very stubborn.
Okay.
You might see a family member in a situation where he or she not sleeping, or they're just in their room. And you'll be like, well, what's going on with him? He ain't doing nothing. That kind of thing. But you're shushing among yourselves. And somebody might raise it and say, what really going on with you? You're not going anywhere, you're just in the room. You're not doing this, you're not doing that. And the person might get real angry.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I think, too, the person is themselves trying to understand, well, what's going on with me? And, So it has a lot to do with it's a very, very gentle, it's a gentle situation. It's sensitive. It's very sensitive. But the fact of the matter is, if you see a relative, a family member who needs help, you should reach out for help. And when I say that, I come to the point of saying, even if you yourself, talk to your doctor. There are times doctors could be mean and just brush you off, but generally people are more, I think Grenadian public are more interested in understanding about mental health. And more now than any other time. And I think you should really speak with your doctor. Don't be afraid. Don't be ashamed. Don't hide it and let it get worse, whereby you have to go to Monge. And nothing is wrong with Monge. Yes, it could be a 5-star hotel, but we need the money for that.
So you say speak.
Speak to your doctor. Yeah. Let them know. Say, like I'll talk to you. Say, I'm not sleeping well, and I'm having all these thoughts. What's going on? The doctor might say, okay, that's not sounding, let's speak with a psychiatrist. And then you might be like, a psychiatrist, nothing wrong with me. I don't go in no way. But just follow the path and hear what's happening. Because sometimes it could be they could run tests and find it's something else. Because a lot of things are connected, especially with up here. Here connects everything. So they would run tests and figure out and help you. And sometimes it could be a mental health condition, or it could be something else that is
something that is leading
to that. So don't be afraid. Don't be ashamed. Talk to your doctor.
So we're going to take a break.
Okay.
So listeners and viewers, when we come back from the break, you can call 435-0143 if you wish to ask a question. If you're struggling with something, we don't claim to have the professional help, but at least from the practical experience, some help might be provided by the response of our guest here today, Sorana Mitchell. So we take a short break. We'll be right back.
Thinking, my mind is a buzzing, I can't sleep. Should I take the leap? Help, oh God, I plead. Who am I? Why am I here? The answer's in here somewhere. Not clear. They say it's within, but I can't find a thing. I need peace. When will it cease? Help, oh God, I plead. Who am I? Why am I?
Songs of Hope and Glory, a diocesan choir festival. Join us as we celebrate this Jubilee year with beautiful songs and uplifting performances on November 30th, 4 p.m. at the Grenada Trade Center. Tickets cost adults $20, children $10. Tickets are available at your local churches and on gotofect.com. Let's come together to celebrate with our choirs and rejoice in the spirit of hope and glory. November 30th, 4 p.m. at the Grenada Trade Center. See you there.
Where do I belong? Help, oh Holy One. Who am I?
Welcome back, listeners and viewers. That song, many questions arise from it. It's from that place. Who am I? Why am I here? Where do I belong? I guess the experience is that even normal living, many people do not ask themselves, who am I? What's the purpose of my life? Why am I here? Mm-hmm. And you don't have to wait for situation. It's like a question that should be arising so that we can, find our true purpose in life. Now, Sorana has spoken quite a lot of her own experience and her own journey. And I wanted to ask her, are you sleeping better now? In and out?
I have a lot of things happening. But it's way better.
Okay,
it's
good.
Way better.
Good.
It's way better. Yes.
Sometimes I get up too at certain times in the night and I was like, nothing really pressing on your mind like a worry, but it's like, you might think it's not. But maybe there's something there that is, but you pray in that time, you rest and whatever you can. So, tell us what this condition, that situation, you have received help, and it has led you to see the plight of other people. And so I understand that you're a member or you work along with the Friends of the Mentally Ill
yes.
that you would have heard about, your listeners and viewers. So speak to us of your involvement with that. It's
Organization?
an organization,
Yeah.
right? It's
Yeah.
an organization.
It's a non-profit. Dr. Spencer, whom a lot of people are aware of.
Yes, I know. I know. The
Evelyn Spencer.
walking doctor?
Yes, he's always walking. He's healthy. Yeah, so he's a president, and we work to help people who live with mental health conditions as well as their family, provide support for them in whatever limited capacity we can.
Wonderful.
We have a tea each Easter that's held at the late Sir Danny Williams' residence. His wife always welcomes us. As a matter of fact, Christmas is coming up, so a group led by Miss Greaves, Anne Greaves, we take a certain number of patients to True Blue. How you call it?
The resort? Yeah.
Yes, they usually have the food thing on a Wednesday or Thursday night. So right, I went last year. We take a certain number of patients who we take them there and they have a good time. And yes, they eat, they dance, socialize with the normies, as they call them.
Not knowing the normies so well, right?
And recently, in collaboration with, the song that you're hearing is in collaboration with Friends of the Mentally Ill, because I wrote it and everything, but I presented it to them and they assisted in getting everything done. Recently, as a few weeks ago, along with Friends of the Mentally Ill, I spearheaded a You Matter Day at Monge Psychiatric Hospital, where I was able to gather a few friends of mine. I must say thank you to Junior Rennie. He's a barber. When I reached out to him and I say, hey, I really want to do this. Would you give off your time to cut he's my barber. So I reached out to him and he said, why do you want to do this? I said, well, I live with bipolar disorder. He said, oh, okay. He said, okay, fine, I'll give 2 hours. He spent 2.5 hours, but he was just cutting hair. And I was looking at him, I was like, if I had $1 million, I'd give him. And
God is hard.
yeah, and he also, Glenda Gibbs, she came and she combed and plaited hair. Rochelle Darland, who is a friend of mine, she came and she clipped toenails and fingernails and painted toenails and pedicure and manicure of the patients. And we got sponsorship from Wade Phillip and Tropical Catering. They gave us a few boxes, as well as Sweet Traditions gave us some cupcakes. So I wanted to do this. It was in my heart to do this. And I was like, who can I turn out to? And I reached out to attorney at law, Rogus Ferguson, who is really much a friend of the mentally ill, because whenever I want to do an interview, I reach out to him. And, that situation, I was like, I reached out to him and he said, sure, he'll support. And I was like, oh. And then I some people I worked with years ago who, when I put up my interviews and so on Facebook, always comment. I reached out to them, like Raul Titus, who's a good friend. He supported, and so on. And Annette Mo, whom I work with, as well as a few people. Well, I don't want to forget anybody. Please, if I didn't call a name, that doesn't mean it didn't help, okay? Jennifer Robertson and so on.
Yes.
Right. So it was a small, because I don't know many people and a lot of people don't know me.
Okay.
So I was like, who can I reach out to? And the few people I knew, they responded.
Wonderful.
And I was so grateful just seeing the look on the patients' faces. Everybody lined up to get a haircut, men as well as women who get in haircut. One was going to Karakou. She got her nails done. She got her hair did. She and she was like, when my brother see me, go think I come out by a hairdresser. And it was so nice. It was so sweet. Yeah. And I want to also mention the the nurses and the staff, you know, it's not an easy job. Nursing is not an easy job, but working in a mental hospital is really not easy. And so, you know, it's I kudos to them. They welcomed us, and you know, I hope to do something like that again soon, because Rochelle is after me, and she's like, we should do it again for Christmas. I'm like, who am I going to get help from?
You see?
Yeah. I'm like, who am I going to go and knock on again? Whose door? But yes,
they'll respond. I'm sure you will. I'm sure you'll get the support.
Yes.
So this is very good. But the association itself, how often it meets, if other people would like to become a part of it. I mean, now that you know, who can become a part of the...
Anyone, once you care about people, you know, because as I said before, the whole idea of You Matter Day is because when people go to Mongi, sometimes families forget them. You know, and it's like you don't matter.
You don't matter. Yeah.
Right? So that's why I called it You Matter. And Friends of the Mentally Ill is a nonprofit, as I said, started in the 90s by a group of people who saw the need for there to be advocacy and awareness, education about mental illness. And, you know, I'm very strong in it is Anne Greaves, who has been a part of it from the beginning. Other people like Miss Simon, Gloria Simon, and other people who are very much involved. So if you're interested, you can reach out. I'll have to say me. We got this time, you know, I don't want to give out Dr. Spencer's number without asking his permission. So, but if you see him and you would like to have a conversation with him, I know he would be willing. And, you know, but definitely, you just reach out, and we welcome people. We meet virtually a lot because everybody's busy. And thanks to the virtual space, we can do WhatsApp, we can do Zoom. So we meet via, we meet online. That's how we get things done, you know. But basically, the concern is education and awareness and being your brother's keeper. You know,
we never know.
You never know, because you don't know what it is that could just trip you over. You could be normal, good all the time. Your spouse could die. You could lose a job. You know, your child could get sick, and then even you get sick. Because people going through cancer, there is also the mental health care for that, because there's depression associated with that. If you have a heart problem, you're like, why me again? You're going through depression. So mental illness runs through, and it's not something to be ashamed of. Again, I keep repeating that. We need to be aware, educate ourselves, and just seek help.
Would you mind giving them your number, as you said, or you?
Yes. My phone number is 417 5717. It's not WhatsApp. My WhatsApp is a totally different number.
Okay. All right. But they can reach at least to have some contact. 417 5717.
Yes.
Okay. You can reach at least in the meantime, or you say you can, if you see Dr. Spencer, you know, you can approach him. I'm sure
you can, because he's approachable.
Yes.
Although he's always walking and seem very busy, he is very approachable.
Slow down, Doc. Yes. Okay, so let's take a short break, and when we come back, we would look at the need in terms of some of the challenges that are faced, and what can be done. These are some of the things you mentioned, but how can this be addressed so that more people can access the help that is available, or create the space for people to be able to talk. So we take a short break again. Welcome back, listeners and viewers, to our special Tete. I even forgot to mention the name of our
I do the same thing. You're not alone.
I'm Ruthina Victor, your host, and my guest again, Sorana Mitchell, and we are talking mental health awareness, supporting it and backing up with her own experience of coming through this difficult time, but she's functional. She's actually working and is able to help herself in this process. Now, we talked about becoming aware, but there's so much more to be done. I remember there was a place attached to the hospital called Radun, I think.
Yeah, Radun.
And people used to feel less intimidated if they had to go there in terms of the initial diagnosing of the condition rather than Monge.
Yeah.
It's like the stigma there. And then we all agree that something has to be done for the presence and the whole ambience and the aesthetics of the place, so that people can know it is just a passage to better health.
It's care. If you get your foot sick, you have to go to the general hospital. You just have something wrong, something going on up here. So you go there. Nothing is. I guess it's because of the whole stigma. You know, once this is not working, you're gone through.
Yeah.
That's what we like to say in Grenada. Oh, is she gone through? Yep.
And then it's like it follows you. That even if somebody is functional and there is still this
Yeah,
it's talking all around, you know.
As I shared earlier,
Yes,
I get
the whole
it.
Question of the.
I give thanks that I have learned, and I guess I'm broader than Broadway, so
You got so.
yes, so I can take
You
it.
got it. You have strong.
Yes.
Thanks be to God for that. It's a grace, yes? Yeah. So we want to talk a bit more about what more could be done in terms of you do not want to prevent. Okay, you want to prevent this happening to people, and should it happen, or there are early signs,
Yes.
you know, that you can nip it in the bud so that it doesn't go out of.
Right.
Yeah. And as a family, how can we address this? You know, as a country, whatever is on your heart, from what I've asked, you can respond here.
I think early detection, but it starts with the person too. But if you see a family member like something ain't right, and sometimes they take it as a joke, she crazy, but then after the person has a breakdown and it realized that she really was sick, I think you have to be, it's diplomatic. Because, as I said earlier, many a times people with mental health condition could be very stubborn. The reason being because of the stigma. But you yourself have to realize that, hey, like for me, I was being stubborn. But when I look at my daughter, I knew that I have to take care of me. I have to take care of me. And sometimes you need something to push you. And that continues. I mean, I have my own desires too, but she is big there. And I always tell her, you have seen me fallen many times, but what do you see me do? I get up. And I want you to always remember this. No matter how many times you fall, get up, dust yourself off, and keep moving. So I think people have to realize, I think sometimes we're weird where we cannot make mistakes. A lot of people feel you cannot make mistakes. And if you make mistakes, your world end.
That's true.
You make a mistake, life continues. You did not die. You didn't lose a limb, you didn't die. So you dust yourself off, learn from the experience, don't be ashamed of it. It's the same thing with mental health. If you find you're not sleeping well, or you're sleeping too much, you're eating too much, you're not eating enough, or you're having these thoughts, or you want to, like if you want to take your own life, or you want to hurt somebody else, talk to your doctor. Or you could talk to your mother or your father, and I hope that they would listen. If you're a teenager, listen to take you to get help. And I keep saying no shame, because the fact of the matter is nobody is an island. You can't do it alone. I'm not doing it alone. I am blessed to have my friends who understand and they're there for me, right? Family is your first place of support. Sometimes family could be a boon or a bane, because sometimes, as I said earlier, sometimes they would say to you, you're gone through. So because they have this set up in their minds that you're gone through, they expect you to behave a certain way. And if you're not behaving a certain way, like I will give you an example. In my experience, I got angry with a sibling of mine, and he took it to mean I was getting sick.
Okay.
It's like you cannot have normal emotions.
Okay.
And they feel that they could do things to you and you're not supposed to react. And then sometimes too, family would put you in a situation whereby they feel you can't work, you can't do this, so they have to take care of you. You know, that's the charity thing. They make you very dependent. But at the end of the day, you have to realize that I was put on this earth. I give thanks that the illness is not severe.
Paralyzed, yeah.
Yes, not paralyzing. I give thanks, knock on wood. I give thanks that I'm able, and that's why I use my life to advocate, to give awareness, because I know there are those who are not in a situation who can, and many of them are being taken advantage of, and they're being hurt. You know?
Yeah.
And it's sad. It's very, very sad. So if you can listen, you can hear, speak, hope someone, it falls on the right ear, they get you to the doctor. I know staying on a daily regimen of medication is hard. I know. But to fit into the normal world, to be functional, it helps. There are side effects. Everything has side effects. Everything has side effects. I was never skinny, but it didn't help. Okay? It did not help. All right? And, you know, taking care of yourself, eating healthy. Eat your greens. Drink lots of water. Exercise is very important. I walk a lot. Not as often as I should, as Dr. Spencer.
Yes.
But I walk. I try to get my walk in. That is very, very taking care of yourself, because walking helps with the moods. It helps you. Like if you think you're thinking too much, a little walk could help you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. George Bartholomew says hello to you.
George.
Hi, George. George used to be very active in the youth group, right?
Yes, Bolio. And he sing calypso too. Remember the Catholic Church had their own Tete?
Yes. Wow. Well, that's good. How important would you say it is to provide safe spaces? It doesn't have to be a doctor. It doesn't have to be, diagnosis and all of that kind of thing. But there's safe spaces where people could just talk. I remember there was a lady, Sister Rose Hall. She used to make herself available. Nice. After Mass, midday in tongue, she would just sit there, and whoever, just available for somebody to talk. I remember a couple of times I sat at the cathedral and people just came and they just talked.
That's beautiful.
I think that kind of a creating of that space.
Yes.
Where it's not appointment, no appointment or whatever it is.
Yes, that's necessary.
People just want to talk. It may be just something on their mind and they just need to.
Yes. It's interesting because I think it's in Africa. I can't remember which African country, but this psychologist, he came up with the idea to get grandmothers to sit and listen to people, because he realized that there are too many situations and the place is big. He can't serve the whole place. Right. So he trained the grandmothers to sit and listen, and he trained them, and that has been very helpful.
And I love what you said.
It has been
he trained them.
Listen. Yeah, you have to train how to listen, because I have found that my friends tell me there must be a mark on me or something. Because even I was in America, when I was in America, and I would just go to Starbucks and say, let me get a coffee, I have a book, I'm going to read. Someone would just come and sit and be like, nice weather we're having, right? And I look up and I hear the whole story. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay, all right. Mm-hmm. And even here, people would just tell me things, and I'll be like, okay. Sometimes you're like, Lord, what do I want me to say? Do I say anything or just listen? And that's what I do. Mm-hmm. And listening to that lady doing that, this is very important. And if we could get more people trained, to listen. Yeah. And confidentiality is a problem. Yes, we know that, because people talk a lot. But if you train people to realize that, the Sister Rose Holly said,
yeah,
she's since deceased. You train people, like the churches could have that. You train a few people, and you have shifts, because you have a lot of grandmothers, people who are retired teachers, who are whatever, nurses. You train them, and the church or community center or whatever, and they go, and you just, there will be a stigma attached to it again, because if she go and talk to that one boy, something on she mind. That's fine. Let it talk. But
we're a small community, and everybody in a sense knows everybody and sees. But if really the Lord give you this gift, there's a grace, to seal what is shared, what the person has come to share. The trust, because that's one of the things too. People don't trust people.
Yeah, but we need
to develop this.
Because if you don't trust people now, when it comes to a point where you can't hold it anymore, you're telling everybody.
Yeah.
I was there.
Whether they ask or not.
Yes, you're telling everybody everything. Yeah. And you're just then, and people will be like, "Are you crazy?" And the names people call people and stuff like that, those things affect us. But I think that family support is important. Sometimes it's overburdening because of the lack of understanding. But I think you should lean on educating yourself. Like, say, for example, a family member might have schizophrenia. Try to understand what it is and help the person in whatever situation you can. If it's bipolar, if it's depression, if it's whatever it is, seek to understand so you can help, the person.
Yes, but it's correct that you say some people, they just use one word to blanket the whole mental illness.
Yes.
And I think we should avoid using these terms about, you crazy or this or that. You know it already if the person has a problem and so on, but to say it to the hearing, I think we can offer a prayer in our heart for this person, because we do not know. I don't even know if the psychologists and so on really understand the full functioning of the mind and whole thing.
Nope.
They only know a certain amount.
Yes.
And then that's why you have the medication, and some people prefer not to have to deal with that medication because they think they wouldn't come off that medication. But I think in some cases, if it's not too far gone, is to gradually weed you off.
You can be weaned off
the medication.
If it's not a severe situation. Because, I am in a situation where I'm like, Lord, I spoke to a psychiatrist who's a friend of mine. She's not in Grenada. But I said to her, I've been taking this medication for how long? Can I get off of it? And she was like, no.
But do they change? If you go back to the doctor, sometimes they have to modify, they have to take off, they have to lessen the dosage.
Yes, because these things do happen. These things do happen.
Okay.
And I often say to myself, it is strange because my daughter is one of the reasons that keep me going. But had I been aware of the mental health condition before, I would never have had children, because of the stigma and wanting them to have to deal with it. And I say it's a double, it's weird, because I would have missed out on the beauty of having her. But at the same time, I know of other people who say they're not having any children. because, and it's a condition or a group of conditions that do affect how you view the world, how you view your life, because I have chosen to live my life to the fullest. I fought singing, now I sing. I write, I dance, I do everything.
Yes, great.
Because I decided that I've been given this new lease on life. Amen. I'm going to use my life to the fullest.
Amen, amen.
Yeah.
And not just for you, as you said.
No.
To help and to share.
Yes.
As you're doing now.
Yes.
And as you're doing with the Friends of the Mentally Ill.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I don't know we don't have so much time, Sorana, but I would encourage those who would go back to this program to post your comments on the Facebook. Oh, we have a call online. That's so great. Good afternoon and welcome to Tete.
Yes, good afternoon to Ruthie and Sorana. I'm listening to the program. I'm driving along with the reception isn't too good, so in between I hear something here and there. But I just want to really commend Sorana on being so, in a sense, laying her life out so publicly. And I can tell her that what she's saying is of tremendous help to people, even though you have a mental condition. I am listening to her, and this thing just resonates with me, and and also helps me to see other people and to have a better understanding as to what this mental health issue is all about. A big trailer passing, just give me a second.
Interesting. Laughing and so on. You said that humor is good, eh?
Yes. Yeah, well, I feel laughter is the best medicine. Yeah. So
okay.
Yeah. So I had a relative who worked in the mental home, and I mean, it seemed to be a place of frustration for her more than a place of enjoyment and helping people. And so here's Sorana talk about this today is really an eye opener. And Erity, you mentioned about safe spaces. I think for me, confession has saved me, as a Catholic. And I think it is very important. And maybe here I speak to people who are Catholic and are really going through something, because I know, times and things that people have been through and what you have things bottled up inside you. And so, and the freedom I have experienced, still a work in progress, the whole thing about forgiveness and anger and things, I mean, I could tell you in my maybe teenage years, late teens, mid-20s, and think, if you did me something, I remember the day, what you were wearing, the color, if you had a leaf by your foot, I remember. Whole long to say. And over the years, with confession, and so God has freed me of this. And I really want to thank God for it, and to thank Sorana too, because she's really doing a tremendous contribution, making a tremendous contribution today. She may not know, and I wish this program would have been more publicized, probably, or maybe aired at a prime time. Maybe we could repeat it. But also, I just want to say one thing in closing. If she could just say a word to people in light of the challenging economic situation that we're going through. And why I say this, I have a friend, was married, husband left her children, and, she eventually she had to go renting and so. And with the rise in the electricity bill, she pays her rent, and so she got a bill for electricity for $600. I mean, and that and her rent was her salary, all gone in just one go. And to this day, she cannot say what is holding her, from losing it. Because, you have 4 children, and I think one of the son has a grandchild or a child, so she's faced with this thing. And I am not in a position you don't know what to say to people like that, because you yourself have your own economic challenges, and so to go to finances and all that. So I would like Sorana, if she could say a word to people out there, because people may not call, they may not post a comment, but they are listening. In what we're going through, how to navigate, how to cope. And thank you very, very much. And you're a fantastic host. I believe it or not. God bless you.
Thank you, my brother.
Yeah, thank you so very much.
And thank you for calling.
Yes,
wonderful contribution. Sorana?
Well, I honestly, listening to him talking about, holding things in his cross, as old people used to say. Recently, as Sunday, I went to an event and I saw someone who did me dirty. And it came back so strong. I thought I'd gotten over it.
Yeah.
And I had to know, as the night I couldn't sleep, I was like, what is going on? And I realized I didn't forgive. I had not forgiven. And I was just like, you know what? I forgive you. And the others who did what they did, I forgive you. And it will come back, for me, that's how it works. It comes back slow, smaller and smaller. And every time it comes back, I'll be like, I forgive you.
Yes.
I forgive you. I forgive you. And, I had to do that. Because for the release and for peace, it's necessary. I myself, when I looked at the electricity bill that I got, I was like,
You went to sleep?
I had to be shaken awake. And it was, I think it's for me, from my point of view, look deep inside of you and find out what else can I do as subsistence. I'm a doer. I wouldn't just sit down and stew and cry and whatever. Okay, so I'm in a situation I need more money. God, you put me on this earth. You gave me everything. You're going to open doors for me. So what else can I do? What gift do I have that I can monetize? That's where I am with that. And I think, I know it's not easy, but that's where I can go.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Wow. So, it's so important, as I said, that the guy said, we need to continue something like this because, and maybe, as you said, at prime time, where people can listen, evening time, where maybe more people can be available to hearing what you have to say, because this mental health that deals with our emotion, and now there are so many voices and so many vying for your space and for your time and for your mind, and your emotions and everything like that. It's like a cell phone screen. You look at it today and it's like it commanding you to... You want it...
Addiction.
You want to take it off, it would not go,
Addiction.
And it's just this constant. And as you said, for me, I am grateful to, as Derek was saying, for confession and also having people, like a community, hearing people, like we have this community and we share on the word and people see how this word comes to help them and different situations, and as you realize, boy, mine ain't so bad after all. It's like you get some encouragement because this person has shared. So we cannot walk this walk alone, as you said. No man is an island. We need one another, and I think, journey of life.
Sorry for butting in.
I
want to say, I really wish that the Catholic Church could take a page out of Sister Rose Hall, right? And gather some people, get training for them, and wherever else in a community center or a church or whatever, give people an opportunity to be able to come and unburden themselves, even with confession, because I know confession helps a lot of people. But there are times you just want to
just a space. Yes. That's a fantastic point you made, and we really pray for the eternal rest of Sister Rose, and to ask God to give us this grace of availability, because it's because people were available to me that I have been helped, and I need to, because I have received that help, to make myself available. And Sorana can share the same thing, that she too, who has been helped, is making herself available in spite of her situation to offer help. And we who are strong and healthy, we have this thing, I'm busy about too many things, and at the end of the day, what? So we need to slow down and to ask the Lord, to help me so that I can make myself available to others. As you said, there are people sitting there with all the talents and skills, but there's someone to harness that and to bring it together so that it can bear fruit here.
Before we leave,
yes.
Added to the fact that, the person could look into them and see what else they can give to monetize, I think there's no shame in asking for help.
Yes.
Because I have been there and I've had to do it.
Yes.
If people are going to talk, they're going to say whatever they want, But if there is someone you can turn to, I pray that the person does not use it in a negative way to hurt you more. But if you can get any assistance, and you can get the assistance, you can ask and get help, don't be ashamed, do it. But at the same time, you can ask yourself, what is something that I can do really well and I can monetize, and
I love that expression.
start tinkering.
What I can use to monetize.
Well, yeah.
Sorana, it's been a pleasure.
Yes.
It's been a pleasure having you. Thank you for opening up your life, for speaking your own journey, and also giving the hope that because of that journey, it has you where it has you, and has opened your eyes to so many things that you would have just lived without seeing, and that you also are available, to offer any kind of assistance, well, in the way that the measure you can give.
Yes.
And her number, 417-5717, is a number you can call to speak to Sorana, or we have Dr. Spencer. Well, you can try to reach him. We do not have a contact for him here, to see how you can become.
Monge Hospital.
Yes, you could contact him at the Monge Hospital, because we all need to be careful about our mental health. We need to be aware of how this body works. We need to be aware of the aging process and all these shifts in our mind and in our emotions and, our moods. All of these things happen, psychological or social well-being. Not to be all closed in on ourselves, but to be able to address these aspects of our lives and be able to give. Not all consuming on myself. As Sorana said, it's not that way it works for her. It works by you paying attention, and as your eyes are open, you can give in the measure that you receive.
Amen.
So may God bless you and continue to heal you.
Thank you.
And we pray for all those who are suffering from mental issues in various ways, those who have been brave enough to confront it and to seek the kind of help, and those who are still living in those little cocoon, being afraid to say anything to anyone. May God give you the strength and lead you to the right persons so that you can get the help before things get out of hand. So may God bless us and keep us in his care. I've been your host, Ruthina Victor. My guest again, Sorana Mitchell. We thank you for being here, and I hope this program will be repeated at a time when more people can access the content of it. So God bless you until we see again.
I'm so overthinking. My mind is a buzzing. I can't sleep. Should I take the leap? Help, oh God, I plead. Who am I? Why am I here? The answer's in here somewhere. Who am I? Why am I here? The answer's in here. It's just not clear. They say it's within, but I can't find a thing. I need peace. When